Okay, guys, we're back. This is a quickie part two. Maybe we'll do a quickie part three. We're just gonna be working tonight, probably till about 1 or 2 in the morning, on this beautiful, cool, crisp Saturday night in November, close to Thanksgiving. So, using your three to William Feather. Anybody else is curious, you can use as many grades as you want, but my basic ones is the coarse, the medium, and the real fine for polishing purpose only. This will not remove material, but this one will polish your surface so you're ready for a nice smooth painting. So we've been filing this here while we've been yapping away. It needs a little bit more work. So what we're gonna do eventually is put putty in here, let it dry, and then sand it smooth. But I already went ahead and started that process, and this is what we came up with. Let me check the camera, see if we're in focus. Okay. Let me bring it a little tighter. There we go. So William Feather, anybody else who's interested in kind of starting to work on this, I highly encourage it. You can follow my videos, though they're not that detailed or well edited. But there's a lot of great builders on here that do a great job, and that'd be a great place to start. So we were working on this one. This is a fuel tank I've done earlier because I knew I was going to be filming. So the sanding process was done. We filled in the little gaps with Bondo. This is my favorite product. I do use the Tamiya fillers, but the Bondo glazing and spot putty is my favorite. It's my go-to all the time. Something I started recently here in the last 2 weeks, something I've always heard about and I've been kind of playing with, is the melted sprue in the Tamiya bottle thing. So I'm gonna experiment with that, see where it takes me, and as if I get good at it, I'll share with you guys what I come across. But let's finish this guy up here, so let's make this tonight's lesson, and let's hope I'm coming out on camera all right. At this point, I'm not trying to remove any more plastic material. I'm just trying to clean up the the body filler, the putty that were that we use to fix up our seams and make them disappear totally. Now, I wasn't prepared to film this process, so if it seems like I'm moving around awkward or don't know what I'm doing, you're right. I know where the camera is. I'm working at a weird angle, but we're in this together, guys. Let's just have some fun here. But what kind of interesting stories do you have to share? I mean, you know, Wilson, I don't know how old you are. William Feather, all the other guys have just been so cool with me. Um, but I started model building, model selling, and reselling probably about 19 years old with the trains. Um, After Ed died, and with me and Ed and another little group of good friends that have all passed away. After they passed, I didn't want to do any model railroading anymore. We used to travel the country. We used to go to all the big shows and big conventions and just check into a nice hotel, and we'd go out to dinner and sightsee the town, whatever city it was in, all over the nation. Every year, many times throughout the year, we'd fly. Mostly we'd drive. We'd take a big van full of stuff, or I would take an empty van and come back with a van full of stuff to resell. So just fascinating. Keep in mind, all this time I was doing the job I'm still doing now, Monday to Friday um, job. And I've been at my job now 36 years. I'm a 36-year veteran. Best job in the world. The modeling changed my life forever, and my job. When I transferred over to the department I'm in now, my job literally changed my life forever in positive ways. both the modeling and my job, that I can't even begin to describe, and the rewards it has brought me. And when I have my little family here, my family, and just, work hard, find a job you're gonna love, but definitely um, start your own business. I recommend you do all that. Uh, if you can't work for whatever reason, a lot of our disabled vets or disabled Americans, or retired Americans, well, maybe this is a way to make some side money here. Your passion of building models, and maybe you're the next video guy. Maybe you're the next Bob Ross of models. So only the sky is the limit. Only yourself is the limit. Um, I will tell you this: pay your taxes, do everything right, so you don't never have to look over your shoulder or worry about getting audited, and now you're gonna have to pay $10,000 in back taxes. Get that stuff out of the way up front, and you don't have to worry about that stuff. Trust me. uh, okay, there we go. We basically sanded our box smooth. Let me see if we're in camera here. We sure are. So now we're going to go over this with our, I'm always mentioning the polishing stick, which does not remove material, but it makes everything smooth. It removes a tiny bit. It makes everything smooth, so we're ready for painting. Keep in mind, all these sanding sticks that I'm using here, you buy them at your hobby store, or you can buy them at any CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Walmart, anywhere that sells women's beauty supplies, especially fingernail stuff. These are basically what females use for their nails. So if you walk into the makeup department where the nail products are, you're going to find tons of these. They're cheap. There's no reason why you shouldn't have a drawer or a box full of these different sizes and courses. Um, and you don't have to get them from the hobby store. You can get them. You can steal them from your wife's makeup box, or your girlfriend's makeup drawer. Whatever you. There's no reason why you shouldn't have an army of these. And don't let the fact that your hobby store doesn't carry them, or they're too expensive, or maybe you're low on funds right now. You can start to acquire them, and just anytime you see any type of sanding product, sanding paper, sanding sticks, whatever, just start accumulating them, and this will be your supply for your little workshop or your workbench area. Okay, I think we're there, guys. So what we are gonna do, let me show you what I do, and you don't have to do this step. You can go straight to painting, but let me just show you guys what I do, since I got you guys on camera. We're gonna hit that with primer. Where is my primer? Hold on 1 second, guys. I usually have a big can of primer right here. Oh, here we go. So if I sanded this guy thoroughly, the primer will not show any defects, and I can just go straight to painting. In this case, we're going to paint her black, and it'll be a semi-gloss black. If I did not sand it well, the primer will reveal the defects. I go back over it. This is a sanding primer, so you can go back over it and sand with no problem. And then once I fix that spot that the primer revealed, I can hit it with primer again, make sure it's gone. Now it's ready for painting, but it has already been primered also. You can paint straight onto the plastic if primer is not your thing, or it's not in the budget, or you don't have good primer selection at the stores near you. There's different methods. You will develop your own method as time goes on. I'm going to hit this guy off camera. I don't want to create a buzz. Usually I do it in my little painting area over there, but for today, since we got you guys on camera, I'm going to hit right behind me here. Bear with me. Let me get a little grabber here. And the first two coats just real light. There's the first coat. We'll let that dry. That kind will give it a grip for the second more thorough coat, but still not a thick coat. Also kind of like a small misting. And then you're gonna start seeing your defects. Alrighty guys, be right back. I guess there's different automotive primers or household primers. I'm really not sure. Maybe guys here on YouTube can answer that question. I just know it should not be thick primer. It should be very light and sandable. Ask around or check other YouTube videos or check with other YouTube modelers out. You can ask them a question. But there you go. I'm creating shadows here. Where I see a defect would be right there. There's a little hole. Over here is a little line. But other than that, the seam is gone everywhere. There's a seam in back that I did not bother getting to. That's because this is going to be pressed up against the frame. No one's ever going to see that again. So I didn't bother wasting time and product, which is dollars really. But I do have a dot there, and a dot there. They're like pinholes. So now I just tap those areas with that pink Bondo, or maybe this melted sprue. I have to wait for the primer to dry, and then sand it, and then primer it, and it'll be gone. But that's fuel tank number 1 as opposed to how they were. Cool, huh? So if you take your time, give her the love that she deserves. You too can become the Bob Ross of model building, but those fuel tanks are going to be gorgeous when they're done. So picture it all black. I was thinking originally painting it like a subtle metal color, like a stainless steel, like I'm doing on the diamond reel, and painting these bands black. Maybe it wouldn't take away from the cab, which is what I'm trying to highlight on the Dodge. Maybe I'll experiment with that. I'm not sure, but I'll think about that overnight. All it needs is this cab filler on both, and we'll put them back. We'll paint them, and we'll put them back on the frame of the model. Let me zoom out so you guys can see that part. She's going to be gorgeous when I'm done. We're going to do a little quickie part 3 right now. I'm going to show you what I did to the cab tonight. It was all fun. It was quick. It's not something that took forever. And it's something maybe you guys can do on a particular model that catches your eye, that's sitting on your workbench or in your stash right now. I will be right back. Join me for part 3. It's going to be a super quickie one also, and then I think we'll call it a night after that. I will be right back. Give you guys a chance to go get a cup of coffee or something. I'll be right back.